Enemies from all sides are continuing to fire rockets, drones, missiles, and other projectiles into Israel on a daily basis, even as ceasefire talks are moving along between Israel and Hezbollah. Meanwhile, Qatar is getting scared now that Trump is elected and are kicking out all of the Hamas leaders from the country. Stay tuned, I'm Justin, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. I cannot believe I have to keep reporting about this, but yes, Hezbollah is still firing rockets into Israel on a daily basis. Yesterday afternoon, 15 rockets were fired from Hezbollah, and one rocket injured 3 Israelis in western Galilee. These were Arab Israelis who were injured. And then yesterday morning, a direct hit from a rocket destroyed a dining hall. On Saturday, over 70 rockets and projectiles were fired into Israel. A drone from Iraq was shot down by Israel. And then last night, they shot down 4 more drones from Iraq. On Saturday night, the U.S. and U.K. together struck Houthi facilities inside of Yemen. A U.S. defense official said that the U.S. Central Command Forces, quote, conducted multiple airstrikes on numerous Iran-backed Houthi weapons storage facilities within Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. The targets contained various advanced conventional weapons used to target military and civilian vessels navigating international waters through the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. Also, the Houthis attempted to fire a ballistic missile into Israel this morning. Thank God it was intercepted before it even entered Israeli airspace. So, nice try. All of this is happening while a report just came out that there's been significant progress made in ceasefire talks with Lebanon. A senior Israeli diplomatic official told Israel Hayom on Saturday that there had been a significant breakthrough in efforts to achieve a diplomatic settlement between Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah. This person said that the proposed agreement is highly advantageous to Israel's strategic interests, describing the progress as, quote, very substantial. I got this from JNS. They said that a second high-level government source, while confirming the positive developments, cautioned that final agreements remain pending. The source indicated that Israel's diplomatic strategy aims to ease pressure from the Biden administration during the transition period leading up to President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. The official emphasized that the Israel Defense Forces will retain operational freedom to respond to any security threats from across the northern border, regardless of any diplomatic arrangements or paper agreements. So basically what they're saying is that, like, no matter what it says in the ceasefire deal, no matter what they agree to, the IDF will still have the ability to respond to terror, to security threats, even go into Lebanon if they need to. Israel's Channel 12 News reported on Sunday that Israeli Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer is scheduled to fly to Washington to finalize ceasefire arrangements. I guess we'll see what comes of these ceasefire talks in the coming days. There's been a lot, so I'm not super hopeful that these are going to come through, but I guess we'll see what happens in the coming days. Even as these ceasefire talks are happening, Israel is continuing to put pressure on Hezbollah. IDF Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi has officially approved the expansion of IDF ground operations inside of Lebanon. I saw that they were thinking about halting all of operations inside of Lebanon, but instead he decided to approve the expansion of IDF ground operations inside of southern Lebanon. Thank God. Let's pray that they'll continue to be strong in that and to continue to fight Hezbollah to strangle their hold of Lebanon. Guys, we'll be right back with the rest of the show in just 1 second. But first, few things are more powerful than a father's love for Sa'ar Axelrod, an IDF soldier and devoted father. This love has fueled his courage and resilience. Living a peaceful life with his wife, young son, and soon-to-be second child, Sa'ar's world changed when he was called to defend Israel's border on October 7th. On February 14th, a missile struck close to his position, leaving him severely injured. In those critical moments, Sa'ar's only thoughts were of his family. His determination to survive was for them. Thanks to supporters like you, Sa'ar received immediate care and began his journey to recovery. But the journey is long and difficult. He faces intensive rehabilitation, mounting medical bills, and the goal of returning returning to his family. Sa'ar dreams of lifting his children again and rebuilding his life, but he and many soldiers like him need help to make that dream possible. Every donation not only aids Sa'ar, but also supports countless other soldiers whose lives have been forever changed in service to Israel. Today, you can honor the sacrifices of these soldiers by contributing. You're helping them heal, rebuild, and return to their loved ones. Donate today by clicking the link in the description below. Well, it looks like Trump winning the election is already having an effect on the Middle East, on this region. Qatari leaders are getting scared and are now kicking out all of the Hamas leaders, which is about time. A senior White House official said, quote, "After rejecting repeated proposals to release hostages, its leaders should no longer be welcome in the capitals of any American partner." Maybe also just because they're terrorists, like they should never be welcome in any countries who are allies of the United States because they are known terrorists. Like that should be very clear and simple. This kicking out of the Hamas leaders all started when 12 U.S. senators sent a letter to Secretary of State Antony Blinken on November 4th calling for the extradition of Hamas officials from Doha. The letter said that there is, quote, a critical opportunity, given the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, to compel Hamas's surrender, and called for the extraditions of top Doha-based leaders, including Khaled Mashal and Khalil al-Hayya. Qatar has been host to Hamas's top leadership for more than 10 years, since 2012, I think. And they've sent more than $1.8 billion to Hamas inside of Gaza. And remember, this is an ally of the United States. Qatar also operates the anti-Israel news network Al Jazeera, terrible news network. Remember, since the start of the war in October 2023, Qatar has served as a mediator between Israel and Hamas for ceasefires and the release of the hostages. And now it appears because of U.S. pressure and Hamas obstinance, when maybe they're finally learning that Hamas doesn't want a ceasefire, which I'm not sure why it took them so long to realize that. They're ending that role. Qatar is ending that role as mediator. A spokesman for Qatar said on Saturday, that, quote, "The state of Qatar notified the parties 10 days ago during the last attempts to reach an agreement that it would stall its efforts to mediate between Hamas and Israel if an agreement was not reached in that round. Those efforts did indeed stall, and now Qatar appears finished with Hamas." It's important to state the role the U.S. has had in this marked shift and to realize what could have and should have been in position much, much earlier. I said before, Qatar is a ally of the United States. They're a major non-NATO ally of the United States. The U.S. operates a military base in the country. Given the big influence the United States has on Qatar, many are demanding that they do more to pressure Hamas. They should have done more to pressure Hamas before. Richard Goldberg, the senior advisor for the Foundation of the Defense of Democracy, said this, quote, "No Hamas leader should be allowed to walk freely out of Qatar. That would be a U.S. facilitated evacuation for Hamas leaders, not accountability. All funds must be finally seized. They should be arrested for extradition to Israel or the United States, and their lives perhaps spared if they publicly surrender and demand the release of all hostages." He's absolutely right in what he's saying here. Why has the U.S. been waiting all of this time until now to apply heat on Hamas, on the Hamas leaders? They've been living inside of Qatar all of this time, and the U.S. has been doing absolutely nothing about it. But hopefully under the Trump administration, all of that will change. Guys, in conclusion, let's continue to pray for Israel. As I said in the beginning, there are many rockets, projectiles, drones, different things being fired into Israel every single day. Don't forget to support the wounded soldiers of the IDF. Just click the link in the description below to donate to that today. Make sure and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Love to interact with you guys there. As always, stop listening to the lies and propaganda and connect with the truth of what is happening in Israel. We'll be back soon here at the Israel Guys. Catch you in the next one.